Hello, collective. Happy November 14th. Happy Monday. So, for the 14th, I've got a fever that burns hot. I got noon, you will turn them. So maybe at noon today, you turn somebody. Turn turf to unturn bone. Turn the turf to unturn bone. There's bone underneath some turf out there, I guess, today. Men run to a Humvee. Men run to a Humvee. There's a Montero turnover. Montero's like an all-terrain vehicle. Home for free. There's a home for free. Bury the brown boot. And review the Freon fume. There might be some fumes that get reviewed. The names I got were Ruby and Brent for today, for November 14th. Yeah. Hey, so the scripture I was going to read from was Jeremiah 13, speaking through the signs, because Spirit asks the prophet Jeremiah to go and bury his sash. It's right before battle. He was in between cities like Euphrates and Babylon, and he asked him, hey, can you take some time out and go bury your sash first before this outbreak, this war? And the sash was what, they wore robes so that he would tie up his robe and be able to be in the war. So it was kind of an important piece of equipment for his war. So Jeremiah agreed. He said, okay, I'll listen to your instructions. And he went. And this took like 3 days to do because it was a day and a half walk to get to this other location that Spirit wanted him to bury this sash, and then a day and a half to get back to where he was supposed to be in battle. So he does it. He buries it. He comes back, and time goes on, and about 3 months later, Spirit asks Jeremiah to go back and get the sash. So, Jeremiah is kind of excited because the prophet's thinking, well, there's got to be something sanctified about what I've done. I've buried this sash in this rock. I think it was by a river. There's got to be something really holy about what I've just done. He's looking forward to wearing the sash and being completely bulletproof, because of what he's done. He gets to the location to dig up the sash, and it's disintegrated. It's completely disintegrated. And he's kind of holding it up, looking at it like, oh, thanks, And there's a part in the Jeremiah 13 where he says, well, this was good for nothing. That's what Jeremiah says. This was good for nothing. And you can look at this in one of two ways, because Spirit might have just been testing him to do something simple to see if Jeremiah would be obedient. Because it doesn't matter where you are in your walk with Spirit, he'll ask you to do things just to keep your obedience up to par. And you shouldn't ask any questions, you should just do it, right? Because you love and trust what Spirit's done for you. So, but you could look at it another way too. And I thought about this. Because the rock that Jeremiah had buried the sash under had to have been a pretty special rock, that he was unaware of the isotopes in that rock. Because if it had been normal soil, sand, it wouldn't have disintegrated as badly as it had. But there must have been something radioactive. And maybe the Lord, or the Spirit, was trying to show Jeremiah, my elements, some of them are special. So that particular rock had to have been radioactive, had radioactive components that had disintegrated that sash the way it did. A lot of you know my story and know that when I got my toxic metal report on my hair, that it said the uranium levels were above 80%. It was 3 months after I'd been exposed to whatever I'd been exposed to that it was still at 80% uranium. So I'm thinking maybe that rock was uranium. Maybe he didn't realize it, but he was trying to show Jeremiah, look, the future is going to hold radioactive isotopes that your enemies will use against you. I'm trying to show this to you. I'm trying to show you that this rock can be ground up and put in your enemy's food. And this will be warfare. This will be a hostile takeover if you learn about this element now. This was 2,000 years ago. Jeremiah he said it's good for nothing. He didn't realize that that's what the message might have been. Just saying, just something to think about. Yeah, if you a collective have been in a relationship with a miner or somebody that worked in the mines, they're well aware of the dangerous rocks. And a lot of it, if you go to the CDC website, it'll tell you, well, uranium exposure within 24 hours can leave your body through, your sweat, your urine. It'll release itself through your body fluids. But if you had a lot of exposure to it, then it has to just seep out slowly. It'll go eventually to your bones. And I feel that's what happened in my situation. Is there was so much of it that was ground up as sand, and I would eat things right in front of the TV with people and say, gosh, this tastes sandy, and they would just go, they would ignore me while I would eat this food. I'm like, this is gritty. I would say that. They ignored me while I ate my food watching TV with those people. These family. I was like, I noticed it. And maybe it was graveyard dirt. I'm not saying. But what I am saying is that it'll go to your bones. It ends up in your bones, basically. Well, what do you think that warfare did? It actually worked against them, because if it's in my bones, that's how the galactic bears, aliens, picked up on me, because they go to radioactive sites that are sedentary, that are stationed still. That's where they get their energy, right? Well, they're looking down going, what's that one moving around? What's that one glowing that's moving around? And they realize, oh my God, if it went to my bones, I'm glowing. And the galactic picked up on that. So I feel like it worked against them, because they're actually helping me. They're like, yeah, we gotta dig her, she glows. But, this is the kind of warfare that, just a person carrying around rocks you wouldn't think would be homicidal. No, that person that had that bag of rocks was planning on going home, taking a hammer to them, getting them really fine, and putting it in food so it would eat the host. But I feel like it worked against them, because now it's so strong in my body that it probably kills anything that that's not up to its level of energy. It's like, we'll just eat on this. I'm just saying, I don't know. Witchcraft is witchcraft, but uranium didn't work. So, anyway, that's my little story from the scripture today. I have a chart for you. Moon in Leo. Got a fire moon. See, I'm all fired up talking about uranium. Yes, this is a beautiful chart. These Yodas are blessings from the Spirit to Mars. They're all going to Mars. So it's a blessing from Spirit to fight this war. This one right here, this red one. It's a blessing from Spirit. It's a Yoda from God. Like, hey, I'm going to help you fight this war. Because this was a war where family and boundaries were crossed, where the borders and safeties of the existing systems that were in place, disregarded. They disregarded it, and they let it happen. So this is the blessing from Spirit that this is the war right now that you're meant to participate in. So that would be for a Gemini out there, if Gemini is your sign. Now Mars also has these red lines here that are, and because Mars is so aggressive, it could be an abuse that happened between a Gemini and an Aries, and a Gemini and a Pisces, because it's Jupiter and Neptune over there. So if you wanted to make it individually speaking, there's some kind of abuse or offense that happened between a Gemini and an Aries and a Pisces. But in the meantime, Gemini is quite busy with his blessing from God to fight this war. So there's something significant about your place, Gemini, in this war against the clan, this reformation, this new way of doing things for the best definition of family that you can come up with. And hopefully it's not this one. Just saying. Now, if you're an Aquarius, you can see that you've got this one good blue line to follow, this higher ascended blue line. and it's okay to follow because it's Mars, it's action. Saturn, it's okay to follow the borders and safeties immediately around you, because obviously the borders and safeties set up by family are not good, and the borders and safeties set up in your immediate environment may not respond to you either. So it's kind of a lonely place for Aquarius to be, because the only thing they know to follow are the rules set up by divine right now. Because it can't really follow, you know, if an Aquarius went out and about and said, hey, I see this happening to me, or I see this going on, they're not going to get a lot of support because Scorpio's squaring it. Okay, that's the active participant for the day. And they can't really follow and go back to family and get help because that's all jacked up. So the only thing they know to do is follow this blue line that also has all these Yodas blessed by spirit to do so. It's kind of this invisible faith. It's faith, really. Even the active participant, Scorpio, is fighting the system because of the previous laws and rules that were in place. They're having to fight it. It cannot be an easy time for Scorpio right now either. It is part of this really good trine. It's not a grand trine because two are in water, but the moon's actually in Leo, so Leo was in fire today. So it managed to catch the moon at some point. This is 9 p.m. tonight, Mountain Standard Time, but it's not grand trine in water anymore. But that's, you know, securing a family for you, because Leo's family, some sense of family, and to expand that for you. Because it's Jupiter, it's trying to expand that for you. Some sense of family, some sense of fellowship for you. Because this other stuff is just like, well, this is your Thanksgiving, you know, your new friends in your North Node, that one blue line that you had to create. See, you're in your North Node, and that's your new family. That's what you get to eat dinner with and hang the stockings for, because that's where you're at. The rest of this stuff is, you know, you don't dare do the other, follow the other, you know, lower vibration energies around you. So yeah, it's a good chart. It's a good chart. And Wednesday, Venus will enter Sagittarius. That'll put the relationships a little more fiery for you, because Venus is fire. Venus will go into Sagittarius. So, moving from a water sign. So if you felt like your relationships lately have been dark and mysterious, they're going to be becoming a lot more lighthearted and fun and fancy free when it goes into Sagittarius. So yeah, I like that. Yeah. Yeah. So that's what Spirit wanted to talk to me about, was, you know, clue into the rocks around your house and stuff. Or even if you feel like, you know, I know somebody fed me graveyard dirt, go get a sample of that graveyard dirt and see what kind of rock is in that. Because it's the rock that can be sticking to your bones right now. Or maybe they already knew that. I don't know. But they can't be doing that to me anymore. If it tastes sandy at all, don't eat it. I just figured, you know how some gravies and stuff or have a kind of a gritty. I was like, oh, this is really gritty. They didn't even say anything. They just watched me eat the damn thing. And then I slept for 3 days. It's like, oh, okay. So, yeah, or oatmeal or things that you would eat in a bowl that you wouldn't think anything different about having that texture, because you'd be like, oh, okay, you know, it's just a seasoning, or it's just a whatever, or a salt, and it wasn't. It was rock that they had ground up. Yeah. I think they picked uranium because they thought I'd go mental, but I have a pretty good lasso on my mental. I mean, I can drive in a straight line, and I can walk in a straight line, and I pay my bills on time. Are there other tests I should perform to test my mental capacity? Maybe I should do those little mental exercises. You know, they have those little video games like, how can you spell this word? How fast can you? You know, maybe I should work on those. I don't know. I feel like that was their goal, and it did not work. So sorry. Limericks, yeah. Practice your Peter Piper picked a peck of pickled peppers. Is that? I don't know. There's a couple of them. Some of them not so YouTube friendly, but those I'll test your the quickness of your mind. The alphabet backwards. I never was good at that one. Because I would literally, because I see everything in pictures in my mind, I don't use pen and paper to write orders down when I'm at work. It's a picture in my head. They'll say eggs, bacon, hash brown toast. Well, I just picture that little plate in my head, and then I move to the next person. So they're just pictures. I don't have words written in my head. So you're like, well, how do you do that? Well, it's because you create a picture of what they're telling you. Eggs scrambled. Okay, well, that plate has scrambled eggs on it. You know what I mean? I don't know. I think maybe that's the mental disorder right there, collective. Maybe I do. I think differently. There's some really good blue lines right now to Neptune from Mercury. So I was going to let somebody know this out there. Because it's Mercury to Neptune, the way you think, and Neptune rules prisons, and Venus is a blue line to Neptune too, it would be a good loving time to visit somebody in prison right now. Maybe that's not something you look forward to or want to do. But if you know of someone incarcerated during this holiday season, this particular couple of days would be a good time to do that if you can go in and see them. Because Neptune rules prisons. It rules hospitals too. So if you had to visit somebody in a hospital that you weren't too sure if you wanted to go and bring flowers to, it would be supported by Mercury and Venus. And partly Scorpio, the sun, the active participant, because all those three are sitting down together in Scorpio right now. So, just saying. So today, my little kitten wanted to look out the window while I was smoking. And of course, outside was the outdoor cat. And the outdoor cat just, they immediately squared off and stared at each other. The little outdoor cat was down below because I'm up in the, we have the window, it's up a little higher. And then guess who showed up? The neighbor cat. So I had 3 cats in a triangle. And I watched nature take its course. I had the neighbor cat, I had my outdoor cat, and then I had the kitten in my arms up here in the window. And they were just staring at each other. And I thought, I wonder if they'll triangulate. I wonder if it's in their nature to triangulate. So I was waiting for the neighbor cat to team up with the outdoor cat to go, hey, let's jump this little kitten in the window. Let's get this little guy. I was waiting for that. They didn't. They stood their own ground. They stood their own corner of the triangle and just flickered their tails and waited. So I thought, I love watching nature take its true course. Because I don't think in nature animals do triangulate unless it's a wolf pack. Honestly, they're going to just stand their own ground. And you're doing a good job of it, collective. I just want you to know that. You're doing an awesome job. You're bringing up all the hurting people, and you're keeping them actively assigned to their universal destiny. Because we know we all have one.
It's 2 women and a man so far. I don't know how these just go. But she was never alone here, and they feel so bad for what they did in the first place.
I asked Alexa to play Frank Sinatra.
Yeah, because all blockages have
So it's all Christmas so far. It's not jolly. It's just good. Yeah. So I got some cards, Spirit. What does the collective need to know for tonight? We got some good stuff that have been revealed. I'm trying to reveal a few more clues for y'all so you can clue into some of those times. If you ever made a comment like that during dinner and it got ignored, that's probably the time when you were cluing into something. Yeah. Because usually most people will say, really? And they'll talk about it with you. Mine would be like dead air. Like on a radio, drop the mic. It was like dead air. Okay, I guess I'll just keep eating my bowl of whatever. That's a pretty good indicator that, yeah. I mean, if they were involved, it would have been like a conversation, and it never was. Never was. So they just wanted me to go away. They were just tolerating me, wondering why won't she drop dead? Because I like to live. I have children I adore. Okay, so in the middle of this reading is, yes, we have this Knight of Swords who wants to come forward with some truth. He's being crossed with, and this will be seen by other people. This particular message will be seen by other people. So let's find out, who's this knight coming toward? Spirit. Who's the knight coming toward? Okay, so the knight is coming toward. Okay, I'm gonna put him this way because, yeah, it's regarding a truth. It's regarding the end of a cycle. It's regarding maybe a Capricorn in your life, or a low vibrational entity in your life, and it's some sort of loving gesture with this message. So it sounds like pretty good information. Because that's, I mean, anytime you get this one, right? Anytime you get this one, the Ace of Swords, then I would trust this message. Even if you have to speak through them through your window or whatever. Just do it and find out what it is. In your subconscious is, yeah, you're well aware of this. And Spirit even told me today that this struggle for this money has been going on for longer than even when I recognized it. They're like, think of all the times that you were lured away from the immediate area so that you couldn't come and visit. And why do you think they bought that big safe? They bought this huge safe. I mean, this safe is bigger than any refrigerator you've ever seen. Huge safe. Because I used to clean their house and stuff. Well, they don't want me poking around and cleaning their house and finding paperwork with my name on it from the courts, right? Because I'd ask about it. So it's all locked up in that big old fat safe. But, you know, that's pretty sad in your subconscious that you realize this is going on a lot longer than what I knew about. And here you thought you were just so genius figuring it out, you know, when it was almost all over with. Especially if you would have given in to sorrow or frustration, or... I'm telling you, if I hadn't have been awakened, I would have been frustrated at this point. You know, it's kind of a catch-22 when you do awaken, because it's like, wow, this is really sad stuff to hear, but at the same time, it's like, okay, I can pull myself up and survive this. They want to... Maybe in your subconscious, you figured they're going to apologize in one way, shape, or form. In the front of your consciousness is you're well aware who they were working for. Yeah, I heard this scary reading today about demons that like possess souls, and and I believe it too. I totally believe it. And demons that possess it, that the vessel that they end up possessing, that person isn't even themselves anymore. They're just this demon that wants to take you out, collective. And but thank God you know, I glow radioactively, so maybe that'll scare the demon away. Don't go out and eat uranium, but I am saying, if you feel like you've been fed that crap, no fear. It'll go to your bones and you'll glow and you'll have galactic support. So, just saying. You're moving away from love offer? Let's qualify this one. Is this a love offer, Spirit? Are we moving away from a love offer? Did they miss their time in the loop to come forward? Upside down. Okay, I'll read this. Yeah, I would think they missed their time. I don't know. I mean, for me, I don't know about your situation, but probably the only person that would, I haven't talked to in like, I don't know, 2 years. So it'd be so weird. It'd be like, what are you doing here? You know what I mean? I just think that's And you know, of course they're scared because they realize, oh my God, now this person knows. What do you want me to do? Not know? Oh, I was going to tell you that too. The Galactic, if you have support from aliens, they do like to come and visit you at night and wipe your memory clean. That's maybe why you don't remember dreams and things, because they're doing that so you don't have to compartmentalize emotionally some of this harder stuff to process, alchemize. So if you feel like, oh my God, I can't remember nothing, that's a blessing from your aliens. They're just trying to keep your memory as pure and as innocent as it can remain, because if you don't know, you don't know. And if that's honestly what they've done, just think how you'd pass a polygraph, because you don't know nothing. It's been wiped clean by aliens. I'm doing the best I can. I remember some things. But it's just, don't underestimate possibilities of the universe. That's all I'm saying. I know it sounds insane, but I like to think outside of the box, and I feel like I'm protected by these galactic creatures. Speaking of which, these were on Amazon. These are little Yoda pillows, and my cat has been molesting this. Like, he'll grab the ear and he'll like roll around, and so yeah, we're having fun watching. I videotaped him last night with this little guy. It's my Yoda pillow. Upside down death. Probably a death that's been avoided, right? They avoid, yeah, okay, right. Okay. Obsession, when it's upside down. Oh wait, that's the devil. I want death. I want death, not the devil. Okay, upside down death. An inability to give up what has already been taken. Wow. An inability to give up what's already been taken. You may be living in the past more than you realize, until you let go of people or possessions that no longer represent who you are. Anyone coming forward to you doesn't even know who you are anymore, or want to be. New opportunities are blocked. Surrender rather than waste time and energy clinging to suffocating familiarity. So this offer, maybe the only familiar one that you can think of, the first one you're thinking of, has met its maker. It's gonna suffocate that person or you until you completely just dissolve it. Have the aliens visit you tonight and erase your memory of it. That's the best advice I can give you. Because you can't get to your North Node blessings unless it is dissolved. Yeah, and believe me, that the universe will bless you with a new contract. A new, holier contract. So you're going to move toward, okay, you're moving towards some secrets. Maybe in this message from this night, this truth, this is going to be revealed. Maybe one or two of them. You know, there's quite a few. But even one or two will open a doorway to many. You know what I mean? Like, sometimes it only takes one little piece of the puzzle, and you're like, oh my God, that's the, you know, when you're doing a puzzle, and you're like, oh my God, this is the fireplace, or this is the stairway, and this is the, because it takes that one piece for you to realize this is what this is. And it opens up the entire picture for you. So hopefully that's what this will represent. And let me qualify that. So Spirit, can you qualify the secrets that we're moving toward after we have this alien death of this new beginning with this Lover card here? What are some of these secrets? What are some of these secrets? There's a couple coyotes on that moon card. Coyotes howling at the moon. And your ancestors are all over that card. They are all over it. So your ancestors know what they want you to know. But maybe they can't keep... Yeah, see, look at all these little... Anytime it rains down those little Yodas, those are little Yodas from Spirit. That's all from your ancestors. And those are all the secrets that they want you to know. One of the secrets will involve the celebration of your new independent
So
beginning.
I'm hearing a very muttered voice here.
So, okay, you know the way I'm reading this.
Okay, wherever you are, that's because you're being filled.
Because this secret's going to be so
Your
public,
vessel is prepared.
because the fire of that Knight of Wands
This entity
and public, I just feel a lot of public when I pick these cards up.
on my floor. I don't know what the fuck that
They don't want you to feel like a fool if that secret's out when you're getting your new beginning. So they're trying to protect you from that.
Yeah, you're strong enough.
It's going to be an uncomfortable secret.
I told y'all.
Maybe for you or maybe for the person it exposes. I don't know. But there is another catch-22. I should have just called this reading catch-22. When you are trying to move forward and all the truths come out. So you're going to have this, you're going to have
So whatever entity they conjuring up,
and maybe that's why your ancestors kept it from you as long as they did, so that your walk would be as pure as it could be, to show that that secret isn't relevant, that that's not something you actively participated.
this thing is turning around. Whatever it is, it's turning around.
I don't know, whatever it is, but I feel like if it's like you took drugs or you have an eating disorder, or and then you tell me your uranium cereal bowl story, and fuck, when you have a eating disorder, sorry, F-bomb, but I mean, whatever they said about you, it's like, yo, if you knew what I went through, you'd understand why I went through the ways I coped, you know? So, anyway, that's what they're worried about with revealing that secret. You're moving toward an emperor who wants to give you a choice. An emperor who wants to give you a choice. Spirit, tell us about this choice. What's this choice that this emperor wants to give the collective? And who, yeah. Tell us about this emperor, or tell us about this choice. Who is this emperor? Spirit, what's this choice about? What's this choice about, Spirit? Or does the emperor want to be with the collective person in like a partnership, collaborate? Okay, so let's see what this is. It's about your happiness. Okay, now that came up. Okay. It's about your happiness and how this Hierophant actively participated in sending these people toward you that were low vibrational. See the Hierophant in this low vibrational, which was probably this one too. The Hierophant was probably behind this one. They actively did this for you to be like that, to be defending yourself. Which may mean it may be a setup, which may mean that this happiness, it's okay, that this is going to be okay. You just have to be aware that the ones in the past were completely robotic copies of people that they wanted to sabotage your new beginning. That's when your intuition comes into play. That's when like you learn to like, okay, use that radioactive intuition that you have and decide, oh, this is not a wax person. This is actually a very caring person.
So we got haunted in the ritual. So now somebody is haunted.
Yeah.
Somebody could be 21, somebody could be 33, 17.
I have a feeling, collective, like when I see these cards, like a lot of these people saw how they did it, what they did, how you reacted. They're probably surprised that you can get through a video and not drop more F-bombs because you know you've done the best with what you could do with what you had. You didn't have any money to run right out and go to Barnes & Noble and get a bunch of resources and books and cards, and you just did with what you had. And you live in this little mountain town, and you have no gas money to go anywhere outside that mountain town, and you're just using the best of what you have. And what's so amazing about it is that the ancestors blessed it. They put their magic on your work. So it's not my product. It's a product from what Spirit wanted to retain for the books, Like, you thought you were going to take my loved one out. You thought. No. My loved one ain't going nowhere. Thank you. So, this is how the environment sees the situation. They see you walking away from a lot of confusion and a battle that left you no choices. That's how the environment sees this. Like, they see you walking away from a battle you couldn't win. I'm sure they thought it was very strange when I cut off everybody. It wasn't comfortable. And it's not natural. It's not natural. You need interaction with other people because although, you know, your light is really bright and they can kind of, you know, overwhelm you, want to have some energy from you, in the same respect, you need their energy. You need to hear what they have to say about it so that you can have new thoughts and new ways of manifesting. It's not natural to hole up and be alone in the woods with Snow White and the little birds and things. Although it sounds really peaceful, there's only a set amount of time for that. Does that make sense? And then you need to come out and share your glory. Yeah, share your glory. So yeah, they realize what a confusing time this has been, because you don't know. You're just trying to keep it on the up and up. Like, I just get up, I do my house cleaning, I do the laundry, I run to market, I get my things, I come home, you know, I'm just really, and then I'll do a reading. But a lot of it is writing down, doing my puzzles, thinking about good stories, thinking. But just think how much more my thinking would be if I had a think tank. Like if I had people around me to throw around ideas. I would love that. I would love that. Because it would just open up that creativity in me to have more ideas. And that's why I watch all your readings, because they're so amazing. I love all of you. And that's all I can do, you know. But there's something about having physical bodies in a room and sharing ideas, and being genuine, that is part of your life experience. It's part of the walk, you know. So, your hopes and wishes that you will get this information soon from this guy. We've already seen him. Yeah, we've already seen him a couple times in some of the clarification cards. Yeah, he's right here. That's what you're hoping for, that this will be speed. See, look at, you know, when you look at the wands, some of them are going fast, some of them are going slow. So this is the 14th. What day is the 14th on here? Oh wait, that's one of the slow days. That's one of the days when you went to bed at 5 o'clock. I don't know. Some days are fast. Some days fly by and you don't even realize it's like, oh my God, it's like 9 o'clock already. And then some days just feel like, is it still Sunday? Is it still? So yeah, hopes and wishes. This will be faster than normal. And this is the outcome. Is this beautiful patient angel that gets all these revelations from her ancestors. Wow. You are radioactive, collective. You don't better forget it either. I love you. Have a good night.